Hi, I'm Judith and I head up the home department at Toast.
Hi, my name is Junian Gibson. I'm a brand creative at Drake's.
I'm Tess Newall. I'm a decorative artist. I paint murals and also furniture.
My name's Madeleine Kemsley and I'm a textile artist that specialises in hand embroidery. To me, vintage pieces make me feel a sense of connection, like a connection to time and people and places.
I think I'm drawn to vintage, firstly because of the uniqueness, the fact that it's entwined with history and a moment in time. You're buying into a story of how that piece was owned before, who owned it. And I love that kind of continuation into a contemporary time and place.
I picked this chair because I was just really drawn to how simple and open it felt.
Initially, when I first saw it, I loved the simplicity up close. There was so much intricacy in detail. It looked very sort of classy and simple and delicate.
I picked this cupboard because I'm really inspired by European painted armoires, they're called, which are like marriage cupboards. I just loved like the architecture of it, the shape. It just felt very sort of gentle and like it was a good canvas to paint onto.
If I had to describe it in 3 words, I'd say playful, balanced and peaceful.
It is a unique piece. It's timeless and there's a modernity to it, so modern would be the third.
Pretty, maybe folky and joyful or characterful.
I would say timelessness, class, and I think conversational.
I did have this vision of playing with the back cushion and the seat cushion as an above and below kind of scene. So I used the base cushion to create this koi pond and the back cushion to have the crane birds above, so they kind of appear as though they're looking into the pond.
We commissioned an amazing textile artist, Hannah Rafat, to piece together in a style of borrow. So in borrow, they use the art of patching, stitching, to reinforce and renew, showing a visible repair, which is beautiful.
I think this bench has such a really nice kind of quiet elegance about it, and I think by creating this cushion on top really kind of made it really inviting.
When I'm working on pieces, I have like an initial idea that then kind of evolves a bit. I think my initial vision was to keep it its kind of cream base colour, but then decided that I did actually want it to be this blue. But in terms of the design vision, I was really drawn to the idea of 18th century chinoiserie. There's a castle in Sweden called Turholm, which this detail came from, the kind of dots that become smaller and bigger. And then the flower motif, it's all very organic, completely freehand, which I think is important to keep the kind of character, which also works particularly well with vintage pieces because it speaks to what's already got a kind of patina and imperfections.
We wanted to be able to produce a piece that had that richness, the richness of irregularity. As indigo wears over time, you get these subtle nuances of colour. To take a timeless silhouette and add something to it in the way that it's been upholstered felt very intrinsic to our brand values.
Giving things a new life is so important because why use up limited resources creating new objects when there's so much beauty in things that already exist? Reworking vintage allows you to honour the past while making something that's still your own. And it's also just a slower, more intentional way of creating. And that feels really important in a world that moves so fast.
I think when you see something that has stood the test of time, there's a really nice storytelling element towards it. And with something with so much patina and age and beauty, why not celebrate it?
I hate the idea of things being thrown away or put in landfill, and furniture having longevity is really important. And so often things can seem like you don't want them, but you can really like completely change how it looks by adding paint.
If I could sum up the project in one word, maybe experimental?
Rewarding.
Challenging.
Satisfying, like it's a really satisfying feeling when you have a kind of blank canvas that can be anything and that looks a little bit unloved, and then you envision an idea and then paint it on. Very satisfying.